All right, let's take stock. Dow Jones Industrial Average closing down 20 points today, though the index is up about 8% for the year. Not bad. S&P 500, well, up more than a point. Really nothing happening. So far this year, though, S&P 500, a gain of 11.5%. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, down a point as well. But its performance this year, a gain of 17%. Total volume, U.S. stocks traded today, nearly 8 billion shares. Let's take a quick look at the bond market. The yield on that 10-year note, yes, 2.29. The 30-year, the long bond, falling just a little bit, 3.41%. Oil, though, up about 2%, $107.22 for that barrel of crude. All right, those high oil prices had their effect on some U.S. stocks today. And for the details, we go to Deborah Kostroun at the New York Stock Exchange. Deborah.
Thanks a lot, Pimm. Yes, so the Dow snapping a 7-day winning streak after we saw that increase in oil prices. Pimm was just showing you $107 a barrel. And we also got those economic reports that showed that consumer prices sparking inflation. Of course, that gives a lot of traders concern that maybe the economy is faltering here just a little bit. So the big concern, of course, is those rising gasoline prices, which also caused confidence among consumers to unexpectedly drop in March. In fact, we have seen a 17% jump in gasoline prices since the beginning of the year, and that may be putting a squeeze on household budgets coming up soon. So that is one of the things that a lot of traders are worried about because, Pimm, of course, those higher gas prices typically just act like a tax on consumers.
Indeed, taking more money out of your pocket to fill the tank. All right, Deborah, Bank of America shares up 6%, biggest gainer in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. They announced a stock buyback.
Right. So the company did pass the Federal Reserve stress test earlier in the week. And like many of the other banks, of course, they all announced it a few days ago. But Bank of America coming out today and setting aside $28 million in new payouts after those stress tests. And that includes stock buybacks and dividends. The stock is up 21% this week. And as Pimm mentioned, it was the biggest gainer in the Dow. And it was a pretty good week on Wall Street. All the major averages gaining a little more than 2%, as you can see, across the board. And in fact, those major averages will be looking next week at more economic reports for their direction. And we do have reports on housing starts and also building permits. And of course, Pimm, we're always looking at that housing market to provide a little bit of direction because it has been faltering here. Back to you.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Deborah Kostroun, reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.